The UK government has made major changes to its immigration policy. If you know anyone who is planning to come and study in the UK, kindly ensure that they see this very important update. The update was made after reports show that there is surge in application for British citizenship because of the fear that Nigel Farage may become the next prime minister of this country. And he has already said, if I come in, indefinitely to remain, no more. Citizenship, no more again. This is why a lot of people are rushing to apply for British passport. The announcement that the government made, universities have already threatened the government, saying, look, these changes that you've introduced is going to lead to a major job losses, and some universities, they may have to close due to these changes that you have announced. This come after report that net migration, that's the difference between people that are leaving the country and people that are coming in, it has halved. Some people are saying, the government is saying, yes, our changes that we've introduced is starting to produce results. That is why we are bringing down net migration, which the previous government, the Conservative, couldn't do. So the government is proud that the numbers are coming down. Now, this change that they have now said, a lot of universities have said, look, we are not going to be able to cope with this change. And what are these changes that we are talking about? Let us break it down. If you know anyone who wants to come and study in the UK, make sure they see this update because this is big time. The government have now said that they are going to introduce what they call traffic light system, warning, amber, and green. The green will be the universities that they don't have any problem. The amber will be the ones that they have problems. They've given them time to address the concerns. And if they fail to address it, they will join the red. The red means you cannot sponsor international students to come and study in the UK. What are the things that universities have been told they have to do? This is it. Number one, universities in the UK must, that for them to be able to continue to recruit international students, they must have less than 5% refusal rate. And what does that mean? It means that assuming University of London, if they give admission to students and the student take the admission letter to their embassy in their home country and that university has a rate of refusal, people they are being refused admission, it means that the university will be in trouble. So what they want the university to do is that before you issue somebody admission letter, make sure you have done your checks and you know that this person is genuinely coming to the UK to come and study and he will finish his study when you give them visa. If you fail to do that, you'll be in trouble. The second thing that the universities have to do is that at least 95% of their students actually show up, because the government said their data shows that university give students documents to go and obtain visa. The students obtain visas in their home country. They cross at the board of entry. They enter the country. By the time they enter the country, they don't show up at the universities again. This is why the government is saying that, look, you must make sure that at least 95% of the people that you offer admission, they must show up. If you don't, you are in trouble. The last one is that at least 90% must finish their course. Because the government again said their data shows that a lot of people will come into the country. Some of them will start the course. A lot of them will not finish it because when the time they start the course, they now realize, the way I planned it back home, I thought I'll be able to just work, do 2 hours work and make money. It's not how it is in reality. That is why the government has now put the onus on the university to do very, very strict diligence check before they give admission to students. Now, this is the amber light. All this is being done because the government said their recent data shows that the year ending in March 2026, the total numbers of sponsorship that were given to students to come and study in the UK was 409,000. 954 students were given visas to come and study in the UK. Out of that, 10,835 claim asylum. By the time they came into the country, by God, I can't go back to my home country. If I go, they will kill me. Because I'm gay, because of my political beliefs, because of my ethnicity, they give all sorts of reasons and they end up seeking asylum in the UK. And when you seek asylum, the UK government has a duty to put you somewhere to live, and that is costing taxpayers a lot of money. And you also have a right to use the NHS, and that is putting pressure on the NHS. And this is why the government is saying no, especially in the current political climate where the opposition parties are looking for any mistake to attack the government. So the government is trying to convey to the public that we understand your concerns and we're actually doing something now to address it. Also, the government data shows that between 2023 to 2026, the numbers of people that came into the UK in 2023 was 613,000 were granted work visas to come and work in the UK, mostly in the care sector. Today, this year, only 253,000 people came into the country. So as you can see, the government is saying that, yes, we are getting results. We have been able to have net migration into the country. This is something that the former government, the late conservative government, they couldn't do it, but we are doing it. It shows that we're actually delivering to the British people. So no need for you to vote for Nigel Farage. We are doing everything that you said that you're concerned about. We're addressing your concern. So stick with us. Don't go to reform. That is what they are trying to convey. Also, the government have now removed 100 occupations from the list of occupations that you can use to come to the UK through the visa sponsorship route. They've removed 100. So the government is saying that we have done a lot of things to address your concerns. You don't need to worry. Everything is coming. There are people that support the changes that the government has introduced with respect to trying to reduce the numbers of students coming into the UK. Those that support this says every country must be able to control its border. The only country that cannot control its border is Nigeria and a lot of African countries where there is no border. People can come in at their own will. They said visa abuse undermines public trust in the system. They say genuine students are welcome, but the fraudulent ones are the ones that they do not want. They say lower migration may ease pressure on health and other public services. That is why they are telling the government to do everything possible to make sure they address this concern. Those who argue that this move that the government is introducing, that it will actually damage the UK long term. The argument is based on the fact that just last year, research done shows that students contributed between 20 to 25 billion pounds to the UK economy. That these changes that the government has introduced will remove that 20 to 25 billion pounds at a time when the United Kingdom is struggling to get growth into the economy, that this is self-inflicted wound which will damage the UK long term. They also argue that this also sent a signal to the international community, the student market, that the UK is not welcoming, is not a welcoming place for them to come and study at a time where these people have option to go to other countries that may have favorable immigration policy. They also argue that these changes could damage the UK's reputation abroad. That is why they're urging the government to have a rethink. They are saying that international students is a big driving force to the UK economy with their contribution, their drive, their talent, why those who oppose it are saying enough is enough. Some have argued that it is a failure of African rulers That is why, in the first place, Africans are having to migrate and looking for all ways to migrate. And when Nigeria was good in the 70s, that Nigeria has some of the best universities in the world, like Obafemi Awolowo University, Ahmadu Bello, and other universities, because Nigeria has now become a laughingstock where the students, the citizens see living the country as the only way out of poverty and get a better life. That is why all these things are happening. Let me know what your views are in the comment section. The views of people online. Man says international students bring billions into the UK economy. This could end up hurting universities more than anyone else. Why? This other man says, finally, some accountability. Student visa for actual studying, not backdoor migration. High dropout and no show we're killing the system. Credibility. UK university will now recruit smart, not just volume. Now that you've heard this, are you in support of this policy? Let me know what your views are in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Peace and love. I'll see you soon.